Nigeria Civil Service and the United Kingdom agreed to strengthen ties towards advancing civil service reforms in Nigeria.
We would not be here if the purpose of it was just to talk, and we would not be having such a thorough consultation process.
Roundtable focuses citizens' equal access to justice as federal government collaborates line partners.
As a youth, I've seen what is happening out there, and I always see what the youth go out there. So I'm just contributing my quota.
Niger Food Fiesta empowers youth as government and NGOs roll out entrepreneurship, non-oil export policies. Hello and welcome to the news desk at 6 on Nta News24. We are live in Abuja. I am Olajide Bello. The Federal Ministry of Environment has raised a team headed by the Northwest Zonal Director of the National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency to investigate an allegation by protesters in Kapam community in Chikum local government area of Kaduna State that chemical effluents discharged into the environment by the Kaduna refinery and petrochemical company in the last few days has adversely affected their health and livelihoods. The Minister of State for Environment, Dr. Isiaq Salako, in a statement says the team will work with the state authorities and report back to the ministry immediately. He also says the ministry will ensure the people and their livelihoods are protected in accordance to extant environmental laws and regulations in the country. The heads of the Civil Service of Nigeria and the United Kingdom have agreed to strengthen ties that will advance civil service reforms in Nigeria. This was the outcome of a meeting between the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, DD Esther Walton-Jack, and the UK Cabinet Secretary and head of the Civil Service, Right Honourable Simon Case, held at the UK Cabinet Office, London. The meeting focused on knowledge sharing and best practices to support Nigeria's ongoing reform initiatives under the Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan 2021 to 2025, with emphasis on capacity building, knowledge management, and enhancing Nigeria's civil service week activities by drawing inspiration from the UK's annual Civil Service Live Conference model. The head of the UK Civil Service committed to sharing insights on civil service development while recognizing the value of learning from Nigeria's experiences. The collaborative effort is expected to strengthen the partnership between the civil services, enhance capabilities, and foster a mutually beneficial relationship. The meeting underscored the commitment of Nigeria and the UK to build an efficient and responsive civil service with continued partnership, support in the years ahead, and agreed to explore exchange programs and study tours. The quest for a revolutionized agriculture in Katsina State took the governor, Dr. Diko Umar Rada, and his delegation to China to seal partnerships with leading agricultural equipment manufacturers. The visit was facilitated by Mr. Zhu Jinbrou, Managing Director of Walker Nigeria Company Limited, and Ambassador Bernard Oshie of Ben 10 Equipment Company, aimed to empower farmers and ensure food security in the state. He said Governor Rada means well for the good people of Katsina State by force of war, choosing to work with very competent partners on this life-changing project. The delegation equally inspected solar panel companies, power tillers, and solar water pump and agricultural implements manufacturing firms. The governor's vision is to increase efficiency, precision, and output for farmers while reducing drudgery and improving income. Consequently, the governor ordered immediate supply of 400 farming tractors and 4,000 agricultural water pumps. Additional equipment to be procured includes power tillers, mini tractors with mounted implement, rice planter, rice transplanter machines, multi-crop planters, multi-crop thrashers, rice millers, rice screening machines, rice parboilers, rice destoners, manure broadcasters, corn stalk grinders, fertilizer applicators, mobile soil testers, plant disease screening and direction machines and their accessories. Governor Rada's efforts aims to curb banditry and terrorism by engaging youth in gainful employment. Rule of law and access to justice play a crucial role in restoring trust, ensuring respect of democratic values, and supporting an inclusive recovery citizens. Equal access to justice was the focus at the roundtable agenda by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Citizenship and Leadership, Misola Biola, in collaboration with line partners. Deborah Balagbobo has details.
No, he couldn't prove it, and there were CCTV cameras in the office, over 8 of them. He didn't see me take the phone. He's just alleging that I took the office phone. And my first 3 months there was hell. I was lying on the floor, bare floor, for 3 months.
The pathetic story of Nicholas Peters is one among many that was denied access to justice and has to spend 10 months in prison, a situation that seems regrettable. Cases like that of Nicholas has spurred the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Citizenship and Leadership to host relevant stakeholders to the Access to Justice Roundtable agenda. That we would not be here if the purpose of it was just to talk, and we would not be having such a thorough consultation process if we just wanted to be in this hotel and talk about something. It's because we intend to get things done.
We are very ready to partner with all the relevant organizations.
It's the problem of the middle class because they're unable to give the accessibility to those downtrodden to have access to justice.
The Ministry of Justice is spearheading several initiatives aimed at enhancing access to justice for all Nigerians, and particularly our youths.
Our participation at this event, together with all the relevant stakeholders present today, is vital for achieving this agenda.
Advocating for fairness and equality within the justice system and ensuring that everyone receives the representation and support they need.
Submissions to include use and implementation of custodial sentences, funding and empowerment of the Legal Aid Council, legal training for relevant law enforcement agencies, and the check of duplicated duties of various law enforcement agencies were made by panel of discussants. In Abuja, Deborah Balagbobo, Nta News.
The Headquarters Logistics Command, Nigerian Navy, Agbara Delta State, has conducted a range classification and arm firing exercise in 4 brigades of the Nigerian Army in Benin, Edo State. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports on the implication of the exercise and the renewed drive by the military to further secure the nation.
Marksmanship is a critical component in the military and other security agencies as it enhances the ability of personnel to attack the enemy position fast with precision. This 3-day range classification and armed firing exercise is aimed at sharpening the officers and ratings proficiency in weapon handling, identify areas for improvement, and an avenue to test run different arms to enhance effective deployment.
Brigade Garrison.
The flag officer commanding Nigerian Navy Logistic Command Ogara says constant training eliminates troops bleeding during operations.
During the range classification, we'll be able to identify some of our personnel that have these enhanced skills, marksmanship skills, that we could use for, 1 or 2 operations. We'll also test our weapons because some of these weapons they are normal equipment, so you don't expect for them to be operating optimally all the time. So when we carry out this range classification exercise, we identify some of the weapons that have problems jamming during the firings and clear them.
And to the participants,
32 officers and 150 ratings participated in the exercise that seeks to promote teamwork, a core value in the Nigerian Armed Forces operations. Ismail Musa, Nta News.
This is the news desk at 6 on Nta News 24. Let's take a break now. More reports when we return. Thanks for being there. Drugs worth millions of naira has been donated by Seyi Tinubu through his pet project Maternal and Child Health Intervention Scheme to indigent patients at Ahmadu Bello University Teaching Hospital, Shika, Zaria. Suraj Abdullahi reports that the initiative also inaugurates motorized borehole in the ancient city of Zaria as part of a drive to promote water hygiene and sanitation.
Maternal and child mortality remained a key health issue bothering both international health organizations and governments at all levels. Despite the decline of the scourge between 2000 and 2020, there remain devastating health disasters according to Integrated African Health Observatory. This could be as a result of multiple factors including lack of availability and affordability of essential medicines at the hospitals, coupled with other social phenomena such as poverty, among others. Intervention in such areas is key to stemming the tide. Hence, the donation of free drugs worth millions of naira to indigent patients at Ahmadu Bello University Teaching Hospital, Shika, by Seyi Tinubu.
This initiative or intervention program is to ensure that at any one point in time in this hospital, maternal and child health care services can be rendered more efficiently.
The program has actually been going on behind the scene. We're only trying to give a formal structure to it.
Many patients do come to these hospitals without much financial capacity. But with these relief materials, it will go a long way in alleviating their sufferings.
The intervention also covers areas of scholarship, as Dr. Aisha Suleiman, a resident doctor, was supported with 1 million naira to enable her achieve greater feat. To support the drive of government towards enhancing water hygiene and sanitation, Seyi Tinubu's intervention sank a motorized borehole at Banzazau area of Zaria City for the benefit of the community. The program continues across the country. From Zaria, Suraj Abdullahi, Nta News.
As Nigeria contends with unemployment, government continues to roll out policies in entrepreneurship. Non-oil exports and non-governmental organizations like Niger Food Fiesta are taking it a step further by providing free trainings for over 2,000 youth in culinary, agriculture and ICT. Daniel Adere was there and now brings us more details.
Food remains a critical necessity for human existence. But in a world where food security tips in the balance, Niger Food Fiesta, an Abuja-based charity organization, is taking the lead in ensuring food for all through empowerment in culinary, agriculture and ICT.
As a youth, I've seen what is happening out there, and I always see what the youth go out there. So I'm just contributing my quota. My NGO, you know, what we intend to do, or what we intend to continue doing, is to continue training and empowering the youths, which that's our own base, that's our own, what we choose from every other things that other NGOs do out there.
Now, what was interesting to note was that every youth that will be trained are getting trained for free with a guarantee of certification. So I got talking with some participants to know what their expectations were.
I checked online, and at the cost of most of this fee were 1 point something, 700 and 800, and I discovered that the kind of salary they paid me where I worked, a year I can't achieve that. So I just saw this online and I grabbed this opportunity. I'm so excited, and because this has been my passion and my dream to be on my own. So I believe that after this, I'm going to be a boss of my own.
So the big dream is like me owning my own pastry shop. Like, I really want it so much, and I'm getting it for free, and I really want to work as a private chef also.
I'm really happy for the opportunity, and just like I said earlier, I wish to have a kitchen someday. So I'm just going to put my best in this and see what comes out of it.
The Niger Food Fiesta charity event is the first in its series and will span across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. In Abuja, Daniel Adiriye, Nta News.
Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, has emphasized the importance of honoring reached agreements between parties in averting further industrial disputes. SANU President Mohammed Ibrahim harped on these and other resolutions of the union while briefing newsmen after its National Executive Council meeting in Abuja. Joseph Hudson reports.
It is one of the regular convergence of executive members of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, to discuss and assess not just affairs in the universities, but also the state of the nation as they affect members of the union. Key on the table is the federal government's approval for the payment of earned allowances.
We are aware that the sum of 50 billion naira was appropriated in the 2023 budget year for this purpose. NEC therefore calls on government to investigate and also as a matter of urgency release the already appropriated funds.
Another burning issue is the release of 4 months withheld salaries of members of the union as directed by President Bola Tinubu.
NEC therefore calls on the relevant government agencies who are responsible for this delay to, as a matter of urgency, implement the directive of Mr. President by paying our members their 4 months withheld salaries.
On the state of the nation, the union underlines significant agricultural policies that will support increased food production as major step towards food sustainability and economic growth.
Mechanized farming should be the way to go, and government should also fashion out ways to provide sustainable and adequate security for local farmers to enable them go to their farms in order to provide food security for this great country, Nigeria.
SANU is hopeful the federal government reconstituted committee for the renegotiation of the 2009 federal government and SANU agreement expedite action to commence negotiation for industrial harmony. In Abuja, Joseph Hudson, NTA News.
Students of the University of Ibadan protesting at the hike in tuition fees recently approved by the governing council of the institution. Ayomiko Ajibola reports that the students want to continue the protest until a reversal of the increased fees. Grassroots Mobilizers for Better Nigeria Initiative, a non-governmental organization, is mopping up out-of-school children in the Federal Capital Territory in support of the National Commission for Almajiri and Out-of-School Children Education's efforts to get every child enrolled in school. This outing by the volunteers of the Grassroots Mobilizers for Better Nigeria Initiative is in line with its core vision of leaving no children behind through provision of education for all. Chairperson of the initiative, Ambassador Fatima Mohammed Goni, led members to the Mabushi area of Abuja scavengers dump site, where many of the scavengers from across the country indicated interest to get enrolled in school for both formal and Almajiri education.
Discuss with them, and some of them, most of them, they didn't go to school, they didn't attend Western education. That is the main problem, the main issue. Government has to intervene.
Half of these boys here wants to go to school, and the remaining half they are ready to learn any skills work that there is going to be offered to them.
The scavengers appealed for government assistance towards integrating them into the society, as most of them are willing to be responsible citizens of the country. And now to politics, and the State Independent Electoral Commission (ODEC) has fixed Saturday, January 18, 2025 as the date for the local government elections in the state. Chairman of the Commission, Joseph Aremo, said during a stakeholders forum in Akure. The report.
According to the chairman of the commission, Joseph Aremo, preparations for the upcoming elections began in 2022 when the commission issued a 360-day notification to various political parties in the state. However, due to failure of the political parties to adhere to laid down procedures, the commission suspended the election process indefinitely, citing relevant sections of the Constitution and the recent Supreme Court judgment on local governments. Aremo stated that ODEC is now fully prepared to conduct free, fair and credible elections across the 18 local government areas and 203 wards in the state.
We must know the party that are ready. We must know the candidate. It is after verification of the candidate we release the names and particular of verified candidates. We calculate the number of political parties that will be on each of the ballot paper.
Representatives from 10 political parties who attended the forum offered constructive contributions in anticipation of the elections.
We have concluded within ourselves that we are going to cooperate and we are going to make the election a successful one.
We shall discuss with our party people at the local government whether or not they are willing to give Ondo State ODEC another chance.
The electoral body also released a revised timetable outlining the continuation of activities leading up to the elections. In Akure, Feoluwa Amoshili.
This is the news desk at 6 on Nta News24. Here's a recap of our top stories. Nigeria Civil Service and the United Kingdom agreed to strengthen ties towards advancing civil service reforms in Nigeria.
We would not be here if the purpose of it was just to talk, and we would not be having such a thorough consultation process.
Roundtable focuses citizens' equal access to justice as federal government collaborates line partners.
As a youth, I've seen what is happening out there, and I always see what the youth go out there. So I'm just contributing my quota.
Niger Food Fiesta empowers youth as government and NGOs roll out entrepreneurship non-oil export policies. And that's the news desk at 6 on Nta News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Olajide Bello.